so it says here we have to answer some questions. Here's the first. What is global climate disruption?
What? I'm not sure. Isn't that thing that warms our planet?
Global climate disruption, well, like I'm pretty sure it's how our Earth gradually increases in temperature, and it's caused by the excessive amount of CO2, methane, and ozone in the air.
Yeah, Ria, I see you. I think it's something along those lines. When gases in our atmosphere trap heat and are caused by human emissions, like the burning of fossil fuels.
Yeah, and did you know that transportation is a leading cause of global warming? I heard that 28% of energy use in the U.S. is from transportation alone, which is a lot.
Yeah, I heard about that too. Other causes of global warming will be human destruction of forests, electricity and factory production, and methane released from agriculture and landfills.
Don't forget about nitrous oxide from fertilizers and gases from industrial and refrigerational processes. Isn't global warming just horrible?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next question is, what are the effects of global climate disruption?
Wait, what's global climate disruption again?
Okay, Anir, we were just talking about this.
Yeah, how could you forget? Okay, so like the effects of global climate disruption would be higher sea levels, which would cause flooding and other natural disasters like droughts, fires, and storms. It has a bad impact on everybody's health as well.
Okay, so I learned about that too, but I'm pretty sure that the average temperature has increased about 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880 and have been rising ever since.
I remember that now. Our wildlife is in huge danger, and our landscapes are constantly changing. And this makes it harder for our plants and animals to survive. It's kind of like what Ria said, right?
About time.
Okay, so the last question here says, what are some solutions on global climate disruption?
One solution would be trying to reduce the CO2 production in the air.
We can also use those squiggly light bulbs and turn off the lights when we leave the room.
Are you crazy? That's so obvious. See other ways we can find out to reduce global warming, like using hybrid cars and increasing our uses in solar and wind power.
Like that's not obvious.
Okay, guys, just stop bashing on each other.
Well, I'm not really sure about any other solutions.
Me neither.
Oh, well, it says here that today's assignment is working together in a group to find a better solution to GCD and give the positive and negative effects of the solution. And it says here, good luck.
Okay, it's not going to work out. Okay guys, we can get started on our project. What do you want to do it on?
Whatever, man. I don't really care.
You guys, this isn't a joke. This is serious. How about bibutanol? It's really cool.
Hey, that actually sounds pretty good.
Wait, bibutanol is also sometimes called biogasoline.
What is it anyways?
It's an alcohol that is produced from biomass feedstocks. Here, read a book on it.
Let's see. It says here that butanol is currently used as a solvent in many wood finishing products.
Wait, hold up. What's a solvent?
A solvent is a liquid that dissolves into a solution.
Oh, okay. Isn't it made by fermentation of biomasses like corn grain or other feedstocks which don't compete with food? Wait, what's a fermentation?
Oy vey, guys, it's just a chemical change. Keep up. Feedstocks are raw materials that supply or fuel a process. Hey, you guys can even convert waste biomass from spoiled foods or from food processing plants to produce biobutanol. But it's easier to produce biobutanol directly from a source of sugar.
Wait, this thing says that germ thingies are introduced to sugars produced from biomasses. These sugars are broken down into a bunch of alcohols, but of butanol. Yeah, I still don't understand.
This can't work though. Like, a rise in alcohol concentration causes the butanol to be toxic to microorganisms, and that's going to cause them to die over a period of time, right? And then, did you ever think that maybe we didn't use this process of fermentation because it's expensive and unrealistic, and the price of petroleum in the 50s is much better?
Bibutanol can be put into engines easier than ethanol. It can also reduce carbon emissions by 85% when compared to gasoline.
And also, the energy of biobutanol is 10% less than of gasoline. This isn't as bad as the energy density of ethanol being 40% lower. An engine designed to burn biobutanol fuel can deliver higher gas mileage versus gasoline.
Okay. Another reason we should do our project on this is because carbon dioxide captured by growing feedstocks reduces overall greenhouse gas emissions by balancing carbon dioxide released from burning biobutanol.
Yeah, and bro, look, it's more flexible and the biobutanol blends well with gasoline and ethanol.
Stay out of this, Julia. The plants used require large areas of agricultural land. Electrical energy generated by various methods is still difficult to store efficiently. Chemical batteries, hydraulic pumping, and water splitting suffer from low energy storage, or they're incompatible with current transportation.
Well, look here. Scientists discovered a method that does not require the light and dark reactions to take place together. Solar panels, for example, can be built in a desert or on a rooftop.
What are you talking about? What does that even mean?
Okay, here, let me break it down for you. Photosynthesis is a process of converting light energy to chemical energy and storing it in the form of bonds in sugar. I'm pretty sure there are two parts of photosynthesis too, a light reaction and a dark reaction. The light reaction converts light energy to chemical energy and has to take place in light. The dark reaction, which converts CO2 to sugar, doesn't need direct light. We've been able to separate the light energy from the dark reaction, and instead of using photosynthesis, we're using solar panels to convert the sunlight to electrical energy. Then to a chemical, and using that to power carbon dioxide fixation to make the fuel more efficient than the biological system.
Ha! Well, what about the issue about hard to dissolve, low mass transfer rate, and the safety issues surrounding hydrogen, which limits efficiency? But I have an idea. Instead of using hydrogen, we use formic acid as the intermediary. We use electricity to generate the formic acid, and then use the formic acid to power CO2 fixation in the bacteria, which will take place in the dark, which will produce butanol, biobutanol, and higher alcohols. Okay guys, but look at this. Soyabacterium, the Rostonia euphoria, which Rio was talking about, has a natural tendency, whenever it is stressed, to stop growing, and then it puts all its energy into making complex carbon compounds.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I got this one. It can take whatever carbon is available and store it in the form of a polymer, which is similar to plastic. By knocking out a few genes, inserting a gene from another organism, you can redirect the germy thing to make fuel instead of plastic. They could also potentially turn almost any source of carbon, including agricultural waste, into useful fuel.
So, biobutanol is stupid, right? See, look, current biobutanol prices are, as a chemical, rare at $3 per gallon, right? And they wholesale for 55-gallon drums for $6.80. Who's gonna buy that?
Okay, well, typically, ABE fermentation acids are produced first by this microbe thing that undergoes a shift and forms solvents.
Okay, well, in conventional ABE fermentations, the butanol yield from glucose is low. It's about like 25%, right? But then the production of biobutanol is also limited, and the concentration can significantly inhibit cell growth of the fermentation, right? So conventional ABE fermentations are usually lower than 13 gallons per liter, and low butanol yield and butanol concentration make butanol production from glucose uneconomical.
Wow. Okay, so by increasing cell density, it makes it easier to recover the product.
Yeah, and more sugars go towards the end product. But don't forget, the improvement of butanol yield, along with increasing the fermentation rate, productivity and stability, and the butanol tolerance by the bacteria is attributed to the fibrous bed bioreactor, FBB.
Okay, well, I also know that the FBB reactor gave a maximum yield of 49%, 2.5 gallons per bushel. And estimated cost of production is about like $1.07 per gallon of butanol.
Well, preliminary laboratory studies and theoretical analysis based on metabolic pathways indicated that the new process would increase butanol yield from a bushel of corn almost 100% compared to conventional batch processes, which is like 1.3 gallons per bushel to our 2.5 gallons.
Yo, dude, I think this can really work.
Yeah, I told you so.
Yeah, so we're definitely doing our project on biodiesel because we now know what it is and its positive and negative effects.
Let's go save our planet.
Snowball!
Join our fight to save the world.